Sure. This webinar is an initiative for celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Also, this webinar contributes for supporting the G20 Summit, a great initiative of India. Referencing is a scientific approach to delineate a data source by providing a standard set of information. This webinar will discuss overall approaches of references and citation management. I would first take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelist for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I would now like to welcome our expert speaker for today's session, Dr. Ritika ma'am with an e-bouquet. We welcome you, ma'am. Dr. Ritika Vasan. Dr. Ritika Vasan is working as Associate Professor with Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVICAM. She is also the Managing Editor for the International Journal of Information Technology, IJIT, an official journal of Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVICAM, co-published with Springer and UGC Care, Indexed and Scopus Index. An avid researcher, she was also the editor for CSI Communications, a monthly magazine published by Computer Society of India, CSI. A certified Mendeley trainer, she has trained several professionals and scholars on Mendeley. As a researcher, she has also published many books and papers by many leading publishers to her credit. We welcome you, ma'am, and I would now like to request you to please address the House.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
I
you so
hope
much.
I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. And very warm good evening to all the participants today. I hope by this small session that we have today, I will be able to sensitize all of you regarding the importance of citation and reference management and how in the current times we can make our work easier. So I will start this session by a quote. Sir Isaac Newton, I hope all of us know Sir Isaac Newton. He was a very well-known scientist. 1675, Sir wrote a letter to Robert Hooke where he said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants." This quote by Sir Isaac Newton holds a direct connection with the topic of today's session, citations and reference management. Because this quote is a reminder of a fact that even the famous scientists depended on their forebearers. So, yes, dear participants, any kind of research we want to do today, referencing is an important part. I would say citation and referencing are an important part of any kind of professional writing. And why do we need to have these referencing? Well, simply speaking, I can say referencing is used as a way of acknowledging the information that you have read or quoted. Yes, any research we do, the word itself, research. So when we are researching, how much of study have we done? What previous work we have read? Whom we have read? Whose work have we read? What is the credibility of our work as a researcher? The key to all these points goes into these simple two words, citation and referencing. Simple question to the participants. I hope you are all with me. How do you manage your references and citations? Let's have a quick answer to it. Please use the chat window to give a quick answer. How do you manage your references and citations? Great. I have a participant who is already using Mendeley. Fine. There is a participant who uses Latex. So great. That means many of the participants, as I can see over here in this meeting itself, they are Mendeley users, which is a great thing. So yes, there are other participants also who are using paper, pill, they are using latex, etc. So if I talk about the possible solutions and if I talk about a bit older times, the earlier solutions that we used to have, people used to copy and paste the citation into a document, and then manually you could spend hours manipulating or typing the citations into a reference list. The bigger challenge could have been if you submit your manuscript to a journal which has their own referencing style or which accept manuscripts in a given referencing style. You would be asked to manage all your citations in that particular referencing style. So whether you are publishing a research paper, whether you are writing a dissertation, whether you are writing any professional piece of work, referencing is going to be important in that. But let's come to today. Manual management of citation, obviously, we all have realized it is a big time consuming and challenging task. So, no longer are most of us doing it. Instead, we are using smart bibliographic management software, be it Zotero, be it Mendeley, be it EndNote, be it any of the competitors. But most of us, somewhere down the line, we are using smart bibliographic management softwares. How do these software help us? They help us in creating a database of all your references. They maintain consistency of records. They help you organize your research, change the referencing styles easily, exchange the references with each other. If you are working with a group of team with on the same, I would say, project, they correctly reference to help plagiarism. They create in-text citation, reference lists, and bibliographies in Word. So that is the basic usage of bibliographic software for reference management. Why is reference management important in the present times? As I gave a small introduction in the beginning itself with a quote by the Honorable, I would say, Sir Isaac Newton. Accuracy is the most important in the current times because we have a lot of data. We are living on, I would say, a pool of data. So studies show that many references are inaccurate. And for references to fulfill their functions, the accuracy is very important. So there need to be mechanism from which you can make sure that you accurately stated what the cited materials say. You make sure that all the information in the citation, for example, the author list, article title, journal title, the volume, year of publication, number of pages, etc., everything should be accurate. Often, the authors whose work you cite would be your peer reviewers. So, inaccurate references to their work will obviously not impress them. Talking about the key elements of getting more citation, that is another important thing in the publication. I would say nowadays, every author would like to have his or her work well cited. So as per Elsevier, surely there is no direct way to get more citations. But yes, certain elements can help you increase your own personal citation count. And those can be publishing in quality journals, having quality reference list, proper article design, language, international collaboration with co-authors, co-workers, and visibility in an active usage of social media and specialized network community. And my dear friends, for all these points, I would say reference management, citation management, effective citation management is the key to the success. So we now come at the basic point we'll be discussing today, citation management. As I already told you, citation management has not always been an easy task. Manual citation management has been one of the most difficult tasks in history of professional writing. Initially, citation management software were introduced as early as 1980s, and they were primarily used to organize references and search databases for articles on a particular topic or generate bibliography. However, over the years, users' needs have changed, technology has advanced, and many new features have been added to citation management software. Today, if we talk of the citation management, reference management tools industry, there are many popular packages available like ReferenceWorks, EndNote, Zotero, Mendeley. One major reason why citation management has again gained a lot of interest and a lot of importance in the present time is due to plagiarism. Tool to avoid plagiarism, again, citations are very important. So, as per Duke University Library, plagiarism occurs when a student, researcher, or an author intentionally deceives or disregards proper scholarly procedures, presents any information, ideas, or phrasing of someone else as if they were his or her own, and does not give appropriate credit to the original author. So, proper scholarly procedures require, they desire that all quoted material be cited, identified by quotation marks or indentation on the page, and the source of information or ideas, if from another person, must be identified and attributed to that particular source. So that is why here comes in citation. How do we define citation? Simply speaking, as per Wikipedia, we can say a citation is an abbreviated reference to a published or unpublished source of work. The most common citation style that most of us have come across at some point of time during our professional reading would be in square brackets we can have a number, and to find the details of that number we can go to the end of the document where we'll have a complete bibliography or a reference list which is going to give us details of each and every number. So a bibliographic citation is a reference to a book, article, web page, or other published or even unpublished items. Citations should supply details, I would say short details, to identify the items uniquely. Different citation systems and styles can be used in scientific citation, legal citation, prior art, arts, and humanities. Reference list is one of the main components along with the title and abstract that general editors generally check before making their final decision on any article. Instead, when you submit your article to a journal, the first check, the first initial check on your submission also involves a check of the reference list and the citations that you have done, whether you have done it properly or not. So, we come to citation management tools. Citation management tools are also called as bibliographic management tools or citation managers. They simply speaking can help you organize, manage, and format your citations for your research. Many different citation management tools are available nowadays. And if we have a brief look over here, we'll come to know what is the basic difference between all these popular citation management software. I have taken 6 popular citation management software as per 2023 studies. They are EndNote, Mendeley, RefMe, ReferenceWorks, SkyRef, and Zotero. Well, if we talk about citation styles, as we can see over here, EndNote supports over 6,500 citation styles. Mendeley supports close to, I would say, 6,700 citation styles, and the number is growing each day. Even Zotero supports over 7,800 plus citation styles. Cost, EndNote comes for a cost, and it is only limited compatibility with a few systems. We talk about Mendeley. It's a free software for academic purposes with over 2 GB of online storage and storage space for the free edition. It is compatible with almost all systems, be it Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Androids, etc. Reference Me is again a free software, but it is only compatible with Windows. Reference Work comes for a cost and again has limited compatibility. Skyref is again for a cost, only the trial version is free, but again it is compatible only with Windows. Zotero, it is free again for academic purposes, but with only 300 MB of online storage space for the free edition. It provides third-party compatibility with iOS and Android apps. So if we see out of these lists, yes, all the citation management softwares are quite successful in providing you citations, in managing your citations in different styles. But I would say the most robust of these is Mendeley, because it provides you a lot of online storage space in the free edition, as well as provides compatibility with almost all types of operating systems that you can use. Before we move on further, up till now, we have been using two major words, citation and reference. Let us first understand, as researchers and authors, the basic difference between a citation and reference. My dear friends, if I talk about the purpose, a citation is only a simple thing which is going to point to some additional source of information. A reference will actually provide details of that additional information. Location, where will a citation appear in your desk? So yes, a citation will appear within the main text in different formats. One of the common formats can be in square brackets, you can have a number. In normal circular brackets, you can have the year of publication and the author list. So these are the common formatting styles that we can have for citation. References are generally added towards the end of the main text as a list. What is the amount of information that is given by citation and reference? So obviously, I hope by now it is very clear. Citation is intended to give minimal information, whereas references shall provide the details. Lengthwise, again, citations are short. They are meant to be brief, whereas reference are long, often running into multiple lines. And if we see below, we have a direct working example where if you see in a particular piece of text, we can have citations in different styles. So the style I have used over here, it's the author name and the year of publication. And if you go to the reference part, you will see the complete details of the publication like Chen, CM, and YJ Link 2016, the title of the manuscript, the general name where the manuscript has been published, the volume number and the issue number, and the pages in which this particular work occurs. So this is the basic difference between citations and references. And as I have already discussed with all of you, which is the most popular and I would say freely available reference management software. And it is not just a reference management software, it is much more than that, and that is Mendeley. So in the brief time that we have, I shall give my audience a brief overview of Mendeley. Simply speaking, I can say Mendeley is a citation and reference management software that can help you organize your documents and references, help you collaborate by joining with your teammates and creating groups, discover statistics and recommendations about your work and other works in your domain that you are following. It will also help you stay up to date and learn more about your work. Over 6 million researchers across the globe. And my friends, beware, this number is increasing every minute. So don't think 6 million researchers. It might have already increased to 6.1 or something at this moment when we are discussing this. Over 6 million researchers worldwide globally trust Mendeley to share their ideas, see what's new in their field, and discuss the important developments. I hope my voice is available because I can check on my second system also and my voice is available. So I request the participant kindly check your internet connection. Uh, Thank you, dear participant. So coming over to what it's mainly. Simply speaking, yes, at its basic level, Mendeley is a reference manager that can allow you to share, manage, read, annotate, and cite your research papers. It is also an academic collaboration network with a large number of users who are connecting with like-minded researchers 24 by 7. Yes, dear audience, Mendeley community is, I would say, only one of its live communities where people, researchers are collaborating, they are working, they're sharing their ideas 24 by 7 with each other. So if you are working on Mendeley, you have a doubt, obviously you can contact me anytime. But if I am unavailable, I don't reply immediately. You don't need to wait for me that ma'am is going to reply whenever she gets time. You can actually go over to the Mendeley online community, Mendeley blog, and surely you will find some solution that may help you get over your problem. Mendeley itself, it forms a crowdsourced database with a unique layer of social research information and an open API. So a major problem that researchers generally face nowadays is you collect a primary database for your research. You make that primary database for your research. And as soon as you share your work to a journal or a good publisher, the first question, the first, I would say, observation that the researcher may give is kindly cite the data set or kindly share the data set. So Mendeley is one such tool where you can share your data set with different kind of privileges. That means you can even share it under the CC license. You can even share it under private license, and then you can even cite your data. So that is a main problem, I would say, a main challenge which researchers nowadays in many different fields, and Mendeley can help you overcome this particular challenge. So there are three key values that drive Mendeley. It is a reference manager that can drive your researcher productivity. It is a research network and group that can enable collaboration and knowledge sharing with different members. It also helps you create additional insights and builds apps as well as research data and API. Brief history of Mendeley before we move further. It was the name Mendeley. It was actually named after the biologist Gregor Mendel and the chemist Dmitry Mendeleev. It was founded in London in November 2007 by three German PhD students. However, the first public beta version was released only in August 2008. Mendeley was purchased by the academic publisher Elsevier in the early 2013. The deal price, speculated to be somewhere around US 65 million, is a hidden secret till date. After acquisition, there was a subsequential debate and a great point that Mendeley would leave about its free nature and would go into a complete subscription mode. But Mendeley maintained its free nature, but it extended its product line into new areas while continuing to iterate on its reference manager. So, if we talk about today, what are the current Mendeley products? We have this complete list of Mendeley products. We have Mendeley Desktop. Mendeley Desktop is an older version since September 2022. Yes, dear friends, since 1st September 2022, Elsevier has withdrawn support for Mendeley Desktop for new users. So any new users who sign to Mendeley now will actually get direct access to Mendeley Reference Manager. For a brief, for the old users who are already using Mendeley Desktop is nothing but it's your desktop version of your Mendeley account. Since September 2022, Elsevier has only withdrawn support of Mendeley Desktop for its new users. The old users continue to use Mendeley Desktop as they used to do previously. Now, for new users, Mendeley Reference Manager is available with the same capability, I would say better capability as Mendeley Desktop, because certain features like syncing, etc., can directly happen in Mendeley Reference Manager because this is direct link to your Mendeley online account. Then we have the Mendeley Web Importer that allows you to import references from different sources into your Mendeley library. Mendeley Cite, which helps you cite citations or works from your library into your Word document or your Latex file that you are preparing. There are Mendeley mobile apps which will help you access your Mendeley library while you are on the go. There is a Mendeley profile that you can maintain for yourself and you can keep updating it with your new work. We have a Mendeley catalog where you can search for new works from new authors. We have a Mendeley feed where you can keep giving your feedbacks and suggestions. We have Mendeley Suggest. We have Mendeley Data, which I have just discussed with most of the author, which is most important. You prepare your own primary data set for your work. You want to share it under controlled license with all the other people. You want to cite your data set, your effort. You can do that through Mendeley. You have Mendeley Careers also, through which you can be part of Mendeley. Mendeley funding, yes, researchers, author who fall short of funding, which is not available in their parent organizations. Mendeley has a number of funding opportunities also, which you can take up. Then we have Mendeley Institutional Edition, which is obviously a paid version of Mendeley. It's not a free version. And we have a Mendeley Developer Portal where you can design your own APIs, etc. So quickly, this was a brief about Mendeley citation management and reference management. So let's see how many of you are with us. Quickly, let's have citation tools can also be called as A, bibliographic management or Cite6. Let's quickly have the answers in the chat window. Second question, citation tools helps us to manage citations for our research, organize our citations, format our citations, or all the above. And third, Mendeley was released in the year 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Well, for the first question, I think most of you have answered A, but some of you are saying B. So for the first question, the correct answer is A. Second question, most of you are saying D, which is absolutely correct. Thank you. And let's see for the third question. Third question, again, many of you are saying A. I would say A is not the right answer. Please remember, Mendeley, yes, was incepted in 2007, but the first commercial version was released in August 2008. So thank you, dear participants. Thank you for being with me. I hope this session is of interest to you and you're finding it useful. Let's come to the actual use of Mendeley through the Mendeley Reference Manager. At this point, I would show you my own desktop. So this is my Mendeley desktop. Now for the first time users, how do you get to this desktop? So to get to this desktop, it's very simple. Go to your Google and you can simply write down Mendeley. As soon as you write down Mendeley, the very first link comes for mendeley.com. You come to mendeley.com. I am already registered and signed in, so it shows me this. It directly signs me in. But if you come over here, I'll again repeat. Go to Google, write down Mendeley, and first place you get the screen. It shows you create a free account. Yes, dear users, it's completely free. You create an account, and the account that you create, that is your Mendeley library. So all the work that you do will be protected under this username and password. And since Mendeley has been overtaken by Elsevier, if you already have an Elsevier account, you can use that. If you do not have an Elsevier account, this Mendeley account of yours would be your gateway into Elsevier also. Once you sign in, you can download Mendeley Reference Manager. For new users, I repeat, Mendeley Desktop will not be available for your system. You will have Mendeley Reference Manager available for your system. This is how your Mendeley Reference Manager or Mendeley Desktop is going to look. If you have a look at this particular window, this is the complete look and feel of this software. Left-hand side, we have this particular Document Explorer window, which is obviously nothing, but this is my Mendeley library. If you see, I am signed in over here, and this is my Mendeley library. I can see all the documents. I can see my recently added documents. I can see the recently read documents. I can mark my favorite documents using a star symbol. I can even check any documents that need review. Now, which documents will need review? Those will be documents that I may take, that may be unpublished documents. So maybe their metadata I may need to complete. I can also store my own publications in my Mendeley library. And below that, I have this unsorted folders. Yes, dear participants, whenever you are doing work in Mendeley library, whatever domain you are working in, whatever part you are working in, it's a good idea that you make your folder. To make your folder, you will see an option create folder. And using this create folder option, you can write a folder name and you can create a folder for yourself. Like in this case, I have created a folder test that we may use in this case. Next, you can create groups. You can maintain groups with your co-researchers. So you can have groups, you can add members to this group, you can delete members from this group. Next important thing is, once I create a folder, how do I add documents to this folder? So to add documents to this folder, it's not necessary to have my complete set of documents on my system. If I already have my documents on my system, I can add my documents from this option, add files, add folder. Watch folder. This is a very important feature. If there is a particular folder, let's say we select a particular folder. If I select this folder, now it is going to watch this particular folder and it is going to watch this folder for any new documents that I add into this folder. So any new documents that I add into this folder, and next time I open my Mendeley desktop, it is going to tell me that, okay, so many new documents were found. Do you want to import that documents into your Mendeley library? And just by clicking yes, I can add all the new documents into my library. To add a document, for an example, I'll just show you a brief of that. Though most of my attendees over here, I think they have an idea because they're already Mendeley users. So I can select on add files and I can add the files over here to my Mendeley library. Once I add a file, whichever folder I open, all the files in that particular folder will be visible in this Mendeley library of mine in the center workspace. I click on any of the documents and you will see the metadata regarding that document opens up. So I can find complete metadata regarding most of the documents. It may even ask me that whether the details need review or not. If I trust the details, and remember, dear friends, 99.99% of times the details are absolutely correct. So if I trust the details, I can say details are correct. If you see over here, I have the general article, the author details, the journal name, the year, volume, issue, pages, etc., all the details. If I want to make any changes to any particular details, I can just click on the value. Have a look. Over here, I want to make the change to pages because the page numbers do not have a dash sign in between. So I want to make a change to the pages. I just click on the values and it allows me to edit the value. So now I can edit the values. Similarly, for this particular document, if I want to add the general name, I can even add the general name. So that is how you can add value. You can add files from your system into your Mendeley library. Now, this will not serve my purpose. The problem is I'm writing a research paper, and as I have just told my audience, citation and reference management is very important. So because citation and reference management is very important, I would like to have sources from Elsevier, Science Direct, I a journal which is of Science Direct. So obviously I would want to cite sources from that particular journal. To do that, how to do that? Obviously, for that case, the first option is my institution should either have access to Science Direct or that particular journal. In case that is not possible, how will Mendeley help me in doing that? So to do that, Mendeley provides us a help. We have a Mendeley web importer. Yes, dear friends, you can go to tool and you will find the option install web importer. Click on this option and a Mendeley web importer shall be installed in your browser, whichever will be your default browser. So if we have a look, I already have opened my browser. This is my Google Chrome. And if you see over here, right over here, I have a small icon of Mendeley. This is nothing, but this is my Mendeley web importer. I click on this Mendeley web importer and this opens my Mendeley library. If you see over here, this is my complete Mendeley library. I can select the folder to which folder I want to add my particular document. How do I select for a particular document? I can go to Google, I can go to Google Scholar, I can type in any topic that I would like to type. Let's say I give COVID-19. If I give COVID-19 in this case, as soon as I press enter, it shows me a number of works for COVID-19. Now I want to get these works into my Mendeley library. How do I do that? So for that, the simple option is you can click on your Mendeley Web Importer. First time you click on Mendeley Web Importer, it will ask you to sign in. Because I'm already signed in, it does not ask me to sign in, but the first time you click on it, it will ask you to sign in. Now you can see the references on this particular page. You can find the reference over here and you can select the references that you need to add to your library. You don't need to stick to just one reference that you found interesting. If you go down over here, it shows you many other references also, which might be of interest to you in the same domain. So if any other reference you find of interest to you, you can select those references and you can click on add. The references are automatically added to your Mendeley library. If there is any work of Elsevier, like if we see over there, this work is from Elsevier and Mendeley is now already the part of Elsevier. So if you have a look over here, as soon as we go to this work already has an option add to Mendeley. So I don't even need my Mendeley web importer. I already have an option add to Mendeley over here. As soon as I'll click on this option, it will directly redirect me to my Mendeley web importer. And from here, I can add this work directly to my Mendeley library. For Mendeley desktop users, you go to your Mendeley desktop and you need to click on this sync option. This sync option will help you sync your Mendeley desktop. Remember, dear friends, your Mendeley desktop is your Mendeley library on your own system. So you need to sync your library with your Mendeley online library, your Mendeley reference manager. The new users who will be using Mendeley reference manager, they will not have to use this extra step. This will automatically happen because you will only be using Mendeley reference manager. The only prerequisite for both these tasks is you need to be connected, have an internet connection. So that is how we can build our library through Mendeley. This is how I can add new work and I would say credible work to my Mendeley library. Now comes the next important part. I have my Mendeley library. My Mendeley library is already built. So if we go to my Mendeley desktop, I already have my Mendeley library, which is well built over here. Now, all this work, I would like to cite in some of the work that I am writing. So to cite all this work in some of the work that I'm writing, let us open MS Word. I'll open a completely new blank document. Now, dear friends, before you start writing in MS Word, please remember the most important thing you need to do again over here is you need to go to the tools option and get Mendeley site. Mendeley site is the MS Word plugin that you will need to get to enable cite your work or other works you have added in your Mendeley library directly into your MS Word document. So just click on Mendeley site. Once you click on Mendeley site, you can directly go to your Word. If you see in your Word over here, under the References tab, yes, dear friends, once Mendeley site is installed, under the References tab, we have this Mendeley Cytomatic toolbar for Mendeley desktop users. And for citing with Mendeley Reference Manager, we will have a Mendeley cite option, which will directly allow us to cite from the Mendeley library. How can we cite from the Mendeley library? Let's quickly write something. I would write something. I write a line. I say COVID-19 has emerged as a global pandemic which has shaken the roots of conventional livelihood. But my dear friends, remember, Sir Isaac Newton said, I have seen further only by standing on giants of the forefathers. So I have not stated this fact. It is already stated and it is already published. So I need to acknowledge that work. To acknowledge that work, using Mendeley site in your MS Word. Let's see, dear friends. I'll just put my cursor at the point where I need to insert the citation. I'll go to insert citation. I have the go to Mendeley button. I can search by author, title, or year if I remember that. If I don't remember that, I can directly go to my Mendeley library with this go to Mendeley button. From this button, now I can directly select any particular work of mine and I can cite it over here. I want to insert bibliography. I told you bibliography is inserted at the end of the document. You want to insert bibliography at the end of the document, okay, take your cursor to the point where you want to insert your bibliography. Let's say I go to the end and I write references. After this, I want my bibliography to be made. I just need to take my cursor to this point, and from here I'll select the option insert bibliography. See, my bibliography will be automatically made. I'll add a few more references so that we can see a few other features over here. Let's say at this place only I want to add multiple references. So to add multiple citations, I simply again go back to my library. I take a few more works, I cite them. Again, I go to Mendeley. I take another work and I cite this work. And now, because at the same point I have cited multiple works, what will I need to do? I will need to merge these citations because the citation style will change. So I select all the three citations, and as soon as I select the three citations, the insert citation button changes to merge citations. I can click on that and have a look. My citation style has changed. So this is how you can use Mendeley to change your citations. I see a citation and now I feel no, I made a mistake. I don't want to have this citation. So what I want to do is I want to delete a particular citation. I can even do that. I can select the particular citation and I can directly delete that citation. Next important thing. I wrote my text in one particular citation style. At the moment, default citation style is IEEE. But the general, I intend to publish this particular work. It says, give me documents in some other citation style. Let's say APA or some other citation style. I can change the style automatically. Let's say I select cites them right, 10th edition Harvard citation style. As soon as I do that, have a look at the magic, dear friends. Have a look, my document automatically change to the particular citation style. I can again change the citation style in this case. Let's say now I take American Medical Association 11th edition. Again, have a look. My citation style has changed now. My citations are now head notes and my reference style has changed. So again, the citation style has changed in this case. Similarly, I can select any of the citation styles, be it nature citation style or any of the citation style. Your general gives its own citation style file. You can take the citation style file of your own general and you can add it to your Mendeley account. So this is how you can use Mendeley to cite your citations. One more important feature before we go back to other important features of Mendeley, export as. I prepared my document, I prepared my professional write-up, my article, my dissertation in Mendeley in the given citation style, and I submitted it to a journal. Take it for granted, take my word, dear friend. Uh, Chances of your manuscript being accepted in the particular journal are raised. But once I have the acceptance, there is a line in the acceptance for further production of your manuscript. Kindly give us a Mendeley less file. How do I do that? So I can export. That means I can export my file without Mendeley fields. And for my friends, for my colleagues, for my participants who are using Latex, I can export my file compatible with LibreOffice also. So once you select on the option without Mendeley fields, it will allow you to save your documents into a document without Mendeley field, which you can then share with your publisher. So this is a brief overview, my dear friends, of Mendeley site. how we can use Mendeley site to format our citations. This is our Mendeley Desktop. Now, Mendeley Desktop is not just a reference manager, dear friends. Mendeley Desktop is much more than that. What more? Let's say I have inserted a document which is a PDF. This PDF I would like to read. I don't need to have a separate PDF editor to read this document. I don't need to go outside Mendeley to read this document. I can directly read this document right inside Mendeley. As soon as I open this Mendeley reader, have a look, my options changes. I can now highlight. I can choose a text for highlighting. I can even add a note in this document. So if you want to highlight text, I can highlight text. If I want to add a note, I can even add a note, and I am adding a note, and you have a look over here. So it shows the name of the person who is adding a note. So once I read this document, I add certain kind of annotations, I add certain kind of notes, etc. I can share them in my group with, I would say, I can share them with my guide. I can share them with my teammates, and in that particular group, Mendeley is going to allocate a different color to each reader, so that each of the team member will know that who has given what kind of notes, who has highlighted what kind of text. So this is a very important feature, again, a very important feature of Mendeley, which will help you share your document and your research with your colleagues and your co-researcher. So this was a brief overview of Mendeley Reference Manager. I hope it is clear to everybody. First of all, we'll quickly revise what we discussed. We'll sign up for Mendeley. Once we sign up, we'll download Mendeley Reference Manager. I repeat, Mendeley Desktop was for old Mendeley users. This was nothing. This was your Mendeley library online, just on your desktop. For new Mendeley users, it is no longer Mendeley Desktop. It is only Mendeley Reference Manager. And once you have your Mendeley Desktop or Reference Manager, you can start building up your library. This is the Mendeley Desktop overview that we have already discussed. This is your library structure. Again, we have already discussed. These are your references. Your references, again, dear friends, you can view in different style. You can view them as a table. You can view them in a particular reference style. And if you have already worked with a text and you are new to Mendeley, you are using it for the first time. Now, adding citations in your text and adding reference list is a big task. The only simple thing you can do in this case is you can even copy and paste these references to wherever you want. Though that is not a preferred style, build up your library in the preferable way. But yes, you can even copy and paste directly from here. You want details of any particular document, that is available in the document panes on the sharp right corner of your Mendeley desktop or your reference manager. And trust me, 99.99% of the time, all this metadata that is extracted is absolutely right. You will not have to make many changes into it until and unless the metadata itself is incorrect or it is some unpublished or local work. You can drag and drop your documents also into your Mendeley library. That feature is also available. You can keep adding your documents from the add files or add folder options. If you are using Latex, you are using EndNote, you are using Zotero, you are using RIS, some other citation management tool, and you want to get your references from that particular tool into your new Mendeley account. There is an import feature also with which you can get in text, you can get your XML files of EndNote, or you can get your RIS or Zotero files, and you can import them into your own Mendeley library. So Mendeley is even compatible with its competitors. You can even watch a folder that we have already discussed. You can also add your references manually. You can import your references. You can use the Mendeley web importer to add from online databases and even find new articles in the Mendeley research catalog. So all these features are available with Mendeley. Mendeley web importer we have already discussed. This is the Mendeley Research Catalog, which is available online on mendeley.com. From here also, you can search for papers at your domain and you can get them directly into your Mendeley library. Then we can have a document details lookup, which will provide us the details of the document. You can save your research while browsing online. Even that feature is available with Mendeley Web Importer. Usage of Mendeley Web Importer, I have already demonstrated. Remember, dear friends, I repeat, Mendeley now, because since 2013, it is a product of Elsevier. Science Direct, Scoopus, and Elsevier publications directly provide you an option of saving the citation to your Mendeley library. So they'll directly help you in connecting to your Mendeley web importer. You can also use Mendeley to set up your library. It's very simple. You have to create folders. I have already demonstrated that. So I hope that is clear to everybody. You can mark your favorite documents. You can read your files. You can sync your Mendeley desktop to the Mendeley cloud, your Mendeley online cloud. For Mendeley reference manager users, this is going to be an automatic feature. So you will not have to worry about it. You can search your documents in the Mendeley library. Below the document details lookup, you have the search option. You can search the documents by publication, by author names, etc. So all that is also available. We have the PDF viewer, which we can use to highlight and annotate our documents. We can look up the term meanings also. We can use the Mendeley citation plugin to cite work in MS Word. We have already discussed that. You can insert your bibliography. You can manage your bibliographic styles. So quickly, at last, let us quickly see how many of us remember what we have discussed. What is the storage space limit offered by Mendeley? Question, ma'am. Question number one. Sure, sir. I would share the complete PPT for references. That is not a problem. Let's answer the first question. Okay, fine. Many of you are saying B option, 2 GB for free storage, which is absolutely right. Thank you. Can Mendeley be accessed on my iPhone? Yes or no? Question number two. Can I access Mendeley on my iPhone? Yes, absolutely right. Which items can you add to your Mendeley collection? Documents, PDF, websites, or all the above? Quickly, dear friends, third question. Yes, all the above. I can add any kind of documents to my Mendeley collection, my Mendeley library. Lastly, you can create your groups to share your references. There can be public groups, there can be private groups. Private groups you can share with your own co-members and your teammates. There can be an invite-only group that where you will send an invitation to a particular member, only that member is going to be added. And you can have an open group, which is a public group. This is about the private groups. Private groups let you share the full text documents with a limited number of users. Nobody outside the group can see the group or its files or its member. You can share full text documents with all members of your group. Each will have a different color assigned in that case. You can also share for public groups on Mendeley, and you can keep following those groups if you want. You can browse for popular groups from mendeley.com, and you can even keep following those groups according to your area of interest. You can connect with colleagues, and you can even join new communities on Mendeley. You can discover the impact of your own research on Mendeley also. Add your work to your Mendeley library, and you can get the complete impact of your research through your own Mendeley library. You can keep adding new work also in that case. Stay up to date. I told you, you don't need to wait that ma'am is going to respond. If it's an immediate question, you can even go over to blog.mendeley.com and you will find an answer to most of your query, because this is, I would say, the most lively working community, dear friends. There are resources of mendeley.com that provide you guides and tutorial videos for different things. So this is the basic thing. Last one important feature I have been asked by many of my colleagues in many of my previous sessions. How do we import bibliography from Mendeley to Latex? That is also easy. To import bibliography from Mendeley to Latex, Dear friends, for those who are unfamiliar to Latex, Latex is a typesetting system with inbuilt features enabling the generation of technical and scientific documentation. You can either install it on your desktop or you can even use online tools which are supported. BibTeX is a tool as well as file format that can be used to list and process references in conjunction with LaTeX documents. So to do that, again on the Mendeley Desktop or Mendeley Reference Manager, you can go to Tools, Options. From Options, you will have a BibTeX tab. Select on that and select the option Escape LaTeX Special Characters, enable BibTeX syncing, and create one BibTeX file per group. You can select the location of the BibTeX file, and this will generate your BibTeX file for your complete Mendeley library group that you want to export over to your, I would say, LaTeX library. Once this is done, the next step will be to create a folder where you can store all the articles or references pertaining to your manuscript. This will generate a .bib5 folder as per your settings in the preference menu. Once you have that BibTeX file, you can only directly include the notation of that BibTeX file into your LaTeX document, and you can use Mendeley document to Mendeley desktop automatically to cite into your LaTeX document. So that is how we can use Mendeley to even cite into LaTeX. Mendeley can also help you maintain your stats. It's a new feature powered, but this is only powered by Scooper's author profile. This is not powered by general profile. So you can claim your Scooper's author profile and you can connect it to your Mendeley account. So this is how you can view and monitor your stats. You can share it with other groups. This will obviously be more citable and more trustable as compared to other options. Next, we have Mendeley Suggest, which is a new service that is available to all Mendeley users. It provides the users with recommendations for papers in your domain of interest that you may want to read. Mendeley Web Catalog is again a collection of all references that can be added to personal libraries by Mendeley users. To access the web catalog, you can search for it in the main toolbar of mendeley.com. So this was a brief overview of citation management, reference management, and Mendeley, dear friends. I hope you are all motivated now to switch over to Mendeley because it is already high time that we change the way we do research. With this, I come to an end to the session of mine, and I'm open to any questions that we have from the authors and the participants.
Thank you so
Okay,
much, ma'am. Thank you
thank
for
you, ma'am.
the enlightening deliberation. Moreover, I think and I believe that the practical approach and the deliberation that you have put in would have made the concept more clear to our participants. And this session would have been insightful for all my audience and participation. One important question that I received from the audience, and I would like to put up to you with your permission. May I, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, the question is, how do you recommend citing content developed or generated by artificial intelligence such as ChatGPT?
Thank you so much for the question, and that's my fault. I haven't included the slide in my slide, but I will update that. Dear friends, from publication point of view, be it Elsevier, be it Scoopers, be it any of the top publishers, none of the publishers are accepting ChatGPT as a author in the publication or any of it. Chat GPT, personally, I have tested. I would tell you, please don't trust it. The text is very good. It is a very, I would say, captivating. It can write your own paper, but don't trust the citation and references. They are all a big hoax. They are not trustable. They do not exist. As far as citing work goes, if you prepare your content through Chat GPT, again, I would say you can go on over to Mendeley Data. First, share your data with public. gain credibility of it, and then cite it properly into your Mendeley library. Please don't trust Chat GPT and any such tools for citation management at the moment. It goes a long way. These tools will have to come over to the proper practice of citation and reference management. So yes, if you are generating text, you yourself are responsible for originality of that text. If you trust that, and if you are ready to put your own credibility as an author as a stake, you can surely use Mendeley data to first share your text with the general public at large, and then you can cite it in your work. So I hope that answers the query.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Other questions which I was receiving, you addressed those questions while in your presentation. So I thank you a lot for a wonderful session. I would now like to request Professor M.N. Huda sir to please present a certificate as a token of gratitude to Dr. Ritika ma'am for such a wonderful session. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Dr. Ritika, for giving
Thank you,
details.
sir.
It was
The
not a
credit is
brief, it was a
yours only.
detailed session. And dear friends, I could not join today during the opening time. In fact, today a session by another speaker, Mr. Daman Dev Sood, on stress management and resiliency was scheduled. But very uh, near and close friend of him has lost his mother, and he had no option but to go in the last rites. And then around 2:30, he informed me that I won't be in a position to take this session. And as a matter of that, this session is an arrangement of a backup provision. And if backup of Bharati Vidyapit is like this, then you can understand the what about the main sessions, right? So this is what is the resiliency plan. The resiliency means, can you survive despite disaster happening? And for a webinar session evening, when there is only one speaker and a speaker has got a problem and is not able to deliver the lecture, what could have been a better resiliency plan than this? So thank you so much to all of you who have attended from different parts of the country and abroad. I missed the inaugural part because of again some technical reason. I was returning back from the university and then my mobile was not supporting the new developments in the WebEx. But fortunately, I got that my laptop understood everything. And Chat GPT, yes, is of course is a very major issue. I think our next webinar is right on Chat GPT, and a very senior corporate is going to speak on that. And we all have to be little alert about the activities which Chat GPT is going to do for all of us. I always say that in whichever way we are going to utilize the technology, we should be controlling the technology and technology enabled devices. We should never ever allow the devices which is technology enabled to control us. And if we leave everything on Chat GPT, I do not know what and in which way Chat GPT will create documents for me. The other day I was sitting for a conference and then he was asking, the organizer was asking me that you didn't send me the profile. I have generated your profile using Chat GPT. Can I use this? I said, no, don't use the profile, at least for me, generated by Chat GPT. Go to my website. It has my profile. Download it from there and that you can use it, or I will introduce myself. But don't use my profile generated by Chat GPT. So let's be vigilant. Let's be alert. Let's be cautious enough. Whatever Chat GPT is doing, I think we should utilize the Chat GPT and other devices, other facilities for repetitive kind of task. Ultimately, it is a byproduct of artificial intelligence. It is not product of natural intelligence. That we have to understand. So thank you so much, and thank you so much, Dr. Ritika. This certificate signifies two things: your wonderful lecture, as well as the quality of the resiliency plan of Bharati Vidyapit. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And this memento is also for that. So wonderful lecture. I have attended last 30 minutes of your session. Initial sessions were struggling to log in. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Please
sir.
accept the memento, Dr. Ritika ma'am, as a gratitude from BVI Camp family.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And dear
And
friends,
now,
as always, this meeting room is converted into the facility center, and you will be pleasantly